Yo, what up everybody? It's your boy the Kryptonian Satan bringing you a review for One Piece Chapter 266, Chopper versus Ohm, and the ending shot with Chopper being sliced so far away, and yet just by drawing the blade, he manages to cut through so many different walls in order to attack Chopper, and it looks like Chopper's been taken out. That was... I have mixed feelings about that, man. You know, I hate that Chopper has basically been reduced to fodder, but I feel like this is setting up for Zoro to take out Ohm because Swordsman and, you know, Zoro has displayed some increased ability. So I'm really interested. Oda has a huge missed opportunity if he doesn't have this take place. Like a very missed opportunity because you have the Southbird. He grabs the pack that he thinks has food in it, and Zoro's holding on to, and they're flying off. Chopper had to climb that huge tree to get to where he is. Very interesting. I feel like this is Oda setting up that, you know, eventual confrontation. I'm expecting an epic battle, and it looks like Zoro's recovered from his last fight, so I'm really expecting something with that. And it just makes sense. This is like Kenshin, this is the vibe I'm getting. This is why I'm excited. It reminds me of when Kenshin took on the leader of the Oniwaban group, man. I can't remember the name. It's been a while since I've read and watched it. That is one of my favorite anime, but I don't really care for the leader of the Oniwaban group. But the thing is it reminds me of that because Kenshin was ahead, but at the same time, when he first faced him, it was a little bit different. You weren't expecting him to struggle that much. And I just get the vibe that this is going to be a very memorable fight if these two do kind of lock horns. So with that being said, I want to focus on what Ohm said to Chopper. And it's very, very interesting. He tells him the thing about people is they end up killing themselves over the pursuit of happiness. And the only way to save them, I'm paraphrasing by the way, but he says the only way to save them is to actually kill them. And I thought that that was a very, very messed up logic. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm right there with Chopper. Like, Chopper's like, that's scary. And it is. People who think like that, they're sociopaths. But the thing is when you actually look at it, there is some truth to it. You know, for the sake of pleasure, another has to feel pain, you know, in order for justice. I mean, that's true. You know, one person thinks they're right, the other person thinks they're wrong. They end up fighting because of it. A lot of wars are started over misunderstandings. If we could just get together and speak, we'd be able to hammer out a lot of the differences we have. So I get what Oda's saying on that, and that's why I said, like, if you just look at a lot of these mangaka, I'm willing to bet they have some relative who is who lived through Hiroshima or something like that, because the thing is they're saying a lot of deep stuff and like the logic behind it. There's a common thread to it, okay? Like, you don't see a lot of that in Western writing, okay? Particularly from authors in the United States, because the United States has not felt anything like that. Like, we had 9/11, and I'm not taking away from the deaths from that at all, but I'm just saying, like, we had 9/11, we had Pearl Harbor, but we hadn't really suffered like other countries have suffered. We've not had war take place on soil over here. So that's the thing. I'm really interested just looking at this because it's just popping up. And, you know, when I go back and revisit the Skypiea arc, that's going to be one of the themes I'm going to focus on, because you got the religious symbolism, but you also have stuff like this. So that was cool just to see that. And then the other thing is you have Chopper representing who I feel is the reader, because the reader should be listening to that or reading it and going, this guy is very warped, but he's very dedicated to his cause. And we see he's actually killed one of the men who tried to come up there. And he basically says, like, my dog's trained. You don't have to worry about him. You got to worry about me. And when I read that, it made sense, because Chopper was freaking out and that dog didn't do anything to him. And I was thinking, oh God, we have another animal thing, like Oda and these animal fetishes. So I'm glad that wasn't the case. But this was what was really crazy though. When Chopper's running away and saying there's so many places to hide, I was thinking, oh, he'll just hide out and then Zoro will come rescue him, or Nico Robin, one of them. And to have Chopper taken out like that, and they say it raises the stakes, but it just broke my heart a little bit to see that, because you just had a payoff a few chapters ago where Chopper actually took out one of the higher ranking opponents that they were going to fight on the island, and now one of the vassals, a priest, is just like, sit down, boy. So oh man, I didn't like that too much, but I mean, it is what it is, you know. Chopper, you don't expect him to be like a heavy hitter in the crew. So with that being said, you have to shift gears a little bit. So I do like how we do find out that the Rumble fruit that Enel has is actually the strongest of the Logia devil fruit. So that was cool, just to get that tidbit of information and to let us know that basically Enel or Emryu, he's a boss. Like, he's not going to be easy to take down. And now it looks like we have Wiper, probably Luffy, and Ganfall all going towards wherever Enel is likely going to be. They're all hunting him down. So that's cool. And I like how Oda did set up in the last chapter where Nami is parking the ship on the coast to wait for the crew. So I like seeing that. You know, it's stuff like that that lets me know that we're approaching the climax, and the resolution to this arc is going to be very quick. If I'm not mistaken, this is the longest arc that I've reviewed so far, so it would make sense. I'm getting the feels that I got when I was reading the Chimera Ant arc, you know, like when Gon and Killua were going to see Pito, right? Like when they're approaching, I was like, okay, it's getting to that point. So that was good. That was good. Like, I feel like I'm not quite there in terms of symbolism, like on where Hunter x Hunter was at that point and where One Piece Skypiea is, but I feel like I'm not too far off. So another interesting tidbit that takes place in all of this is we're actually seeing the setup for what's going to happen, and I feel like what we're seeing in that is with Nico Robin. I might be wrong, but we're seeing the setup because Nico Robin is saying that the topography is wrong at this point, and she says it should be El Dorado, but it isn't. So it just lets you know that there's another plot twist that's coming, and I feel like at some point Nico Robin is going to uncover one of the mysteries for it, which is, again, it's part of that Indiana Jones vibe that I'm getting from this. But my chapter question for this is going to be, what did you think about the revelation about the Rumble fruit being the strongest of the devil fruits? But as always, guys, if you like anything I have to say, hit that like button, comment, rate, subscribe, share. Follow me on social media and Twitter. Stalk the Facebook, stalk the Twitter. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Have an awesome day.